the social process, and finally IBA. So the urban and public design. This was our starting point in 2017 when we won the competition, which IBA set out. We competed against 3 offices, and we won it with a concept for the reuse of one of the 3 large flats which were still existing on the site. But also we won it because we had a very elaborate but very strong analysis of the urban site. This is our kind of cartoon-like drawing style, which shows very precisely what is the essence of the site. So we see 3 flat buildings, B, C, and D, because A was already demolished. We see the complex Vroenhof in the foreground. It's the north of the site, and the quite green park in between. And our concept was this, that the existing complex in the front would turn into a sort of courtyard ensemble complex. Hof means court. That means we would like to make an interior space there with new houses in an L-shaped building. We said one of the 3 flats can be the iconic building of the site, and we can renovate this one in a radical way. And then we have a park in between, which is a long stretch park, which we will talk much more about, where recycling is the main theme. So here we see, from south to north, the competition entry with the park in the center. And I will go step by step through the different aspects of the park. We already had the pavilion in 2018 planned. It was designed by Moura, or Moura United. So this was already planned on the site in the corner of our park. And this is an image that we quite soon gave as a terraced park, where you can see the different levels stepping up to the iconic flat building, which you can see in the front. The first flat on the Ursulastraat would be demolished first, and then 3 trial dwellings would be made. So this has probably been shown already this day with the experimentation of 3 different ways of reuse of materials. And then the second flat was demolished, the Junkerberg Street flat. And here we went on with more reuse of materials. And the renovation of the apartments was done again by Moura United as part of our master plan. Very important is the social plinth on the left side of the picture, which is in the ground floor of the flat, which is really part of the social program that we will explain later. And then there is a 13 units in an L-shaped building that make the court ensemble on the north. Also here, there is reuse of concrete granulate from the demolished flats. And finally, we have the park with the closed water cycle. This is again a program which was explained in one of the other workshops. So all these ingredients were part of our brief, part of the experiment, and was integrated in a very consequent way in the master plan of our site. And you can see it's very green. It's a car-free area. Only on the south side we have some parking, and on the streets around. And all the houses, all the dwellings, they're oriented on the park, and the park has all the social programs. So now about the reuse. We already explained it a little bit. The first idea was very radical. So just a kind of conceptual wall around the site, and everything would be reused within. The first flat was demolished and was experimented with pavilions. So the first pavilion was done from this flat. The second one, it went on further with reuse of the granulates from the concrete, and also the closed water cycle in this phase. And there we see the structure of our urban plan, a system of paths from concrete. All the concrete here is made from the concrete granulates from the demolished buildings, and gave structure to the park and became the terraced park. So this was one of our early conceptual drawings of how the paths would be made in new concrete with granulate from the buildings, but also the gabions. Those are the bags where you have rubble, also again from the flat, as a structural element in the master plan. So here we can see an example. You can fill these gabions with brick, with wood, with rubble from concrete. And this is also an experiment which will be furthered in the execution of the project. So this is the last drawing, which you can see is still continuing. There's some notices from Victor, so we can see the discussion in the project, but now more and more the master plan is coming to its final composition. You can see the trees are playing an important role in the landscaping. Victor just told me that there are 150 trees already waiting to be planted in the park, probably in the autumn next year. The water cycle, I won't tell you about the technical part, but as a brief, we had a very important input in the beginning, is we need concrete areas in the park which collect the water and lead the water in the terrace park to a basin, to an underground basin for cleaning and recycling. So you can see in the lower part, in the right side, left side, the basin where all the water is traveling. We did schematic drawings to show the collection of the water. We tried to understand the cleaning of the rainwater.